Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Michael. This is Friday. Welcome to the weekend. This is for information and educational purposes only. Let's get to the news. Hope everybody has had a great week in the meantime. The Federal Reserve will likely need to raise interest rates further and hold them higher for some time if the U.S. price pressures don't cool off and jobs market shows no sign of slowing, Governor Michelle Baumann said. On to our sector breakdown in consumer brands. Solo brand DTCE is having an 11.3 share secondary offering priced at $5.25. Spectrum Brands SPB Q2 EPS loss 14 cents versus 4 cents. Tesla raises the price of several of its vehicles, some by 1,000, some by 250. So we'll continue to check that out. Tesla was up earlier, but then when Elon Musk tweeted that he had found a CEO for Twitter, Tesla started falling. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but will. Maybe they're afraid of Elon spending too much time at Tesla. But anyway, on to Bluebird, BLBD. Second quarter EPS 27 cents versus estimate of 8 cents. On to financials. Fed emergency bank loans rose 92.4 billion from 81.1 billion from the prior week. On to healthcare, Amylyx Pharmaceutical, AMLX, first quarter EPS 2 cents versus estimate of a 24-cent loss. Catalent, CTLT, has determined that it is unable to file without unreasonable effort or expense its quarterly report on Form 10Q for the fiscal quarter ended March 31st, 2023 at this time. On time. Heron Therapeutics, HRTX, first quarter EPS 27 cents versus 20-cent loss. Actually, it was a 27-cent loss versus 20-cent loss. I apologize. SomaLogic, SLGC, first quarter EPS 18-cent loss versus estimate of 22-cent loss. Ventex Biosciences, VTYX, first quarter EPS 68-cent loss versus estimate of 65-cent loss. Walgreens Boots Alliance announces the sale of shares of AmerisourceBergen, ABC, pursuant to a variable prepaid forward transaction executed in reliance of Rule 144 for current proceeds of approximately $644 million. Technology, Media, and Telecom, 8x8. EGHT, fourth quarter EPS 11 cents versus estimate of 9 cents. Arlo Technologies, ARLO, first quarter adjusted EPS 1 cent versus estimate of 5-cent loss. Gen Digital, GEN, quarter 4 EPS 46 cents versus estimate 44 cents. IonQ, IONQ, quarter 1 EPS loss 14 cents versus estimate of $40.11 loss, so much improvement there. News Corp, NWSA, quarter 1 adjusted EPS 9 cents versus estimate 5 cents. Outster, OUST, first quarter EBITDA $27 million loss versus a $52.5 million loss. And Sanmina, SANM, second quarter adjusted EPS $1.59 versus estimate of $1.55 on revenues of $2.32 billion. And that's our news for today. A bunch of solar stocks in the news. Let's share my screen here and see what we have moving. So first, we got the US dollar. US dollar is bouncing above its 50-day moving average. Not much volume here, but there was a lot of volume yesterday as it bumped up against the 50-day. It gapped up here, and now it's continuing its move. A look at what gold is doing. Gold usually goes down when the dollar goes up. Gold shares are pulling back slightly to they're in between its 10 and 20-day moving average right now. So volume has been a bit lower, so we'll just see if this is a pause here, which is always good. Not to get extreme excitement over a stock moving up. Take a look at silver, which had sold off quite a bit yesterday. It's pulled back to his 50-day moving average. We'll just see if it can hold there or if it's going to keep falling. Copper. Southern Copper has fallen quite a bit as well. They had a good earnings report, but softer copper prices have hurt the shares. Gap down here, and we'll just see if it can fill that gap. But we have said 80% of gaps eventually fill and then return to the trend. Let's take a look at our crypto. Crypto continues to pull back. And both Ethereum and Bitcoin continue to pull back. We'll continue to watch that. And let's take a look at our volatility index, the VIX. The VIX is up slightly this morning. It's been trending lower. We feel that it's going to, in June, head up above 20, but we'll just have to see. S&P 500 is pretty flat for the day. The NASDAQ is up slightly. The Dow Jones is pulling back. There's an inflation report that came out. People worried about inflation. And so the market had been up earlier and it has sold off kind of on that news. The small cap index pulling back as well. Not too much considering all the bank risks that we have here. There was a report by Fundstrat that they believed FANG, F-A-A-N-G, has the potential to go up 50%. This is where most of the indexes are showing improvement based on just a few number of stocks, 5 or 6 stocks, which are NVIDIA, pulling back a little bit today. Meta, which is holding strong after a big jump on its earnings. Amazon, which looked like it was breaking out yesterday, is pulling back slightly. Google and Microsoft, on its big move, is holding strong. And Apple. So we'll just see if Fundstrat's prediction comes true. In the meantime, let's take a look at some of our leading ETFs. Utilities, looks like pretty much in a trading range, not doing too much. Communications, which has been leading, where Google and Meta or Facebook are situated, is up slightly today. Our real estate is down slightly today. Energy is popping up. Take a look at our oil index. Oil is actually pulling back, so it's interesting that energy issues are up today. The explorers are up as well. Industrials up slightly. That's interesting. If you compare that with the Dow Jones. So the healthcare sector continues to pull back here. Financials continue to pull back there under all of their moving averages, and as we continue to say, not much good happens when you're under your 200-day, which is way up here. XLY, consumer, pretty flat. Technology, it's remaining flat. It's in a good pattern above all of its major moving averages. Software, after its move above its moving averages, is just kind of holding out here, which isn't too bad. You have a little bit of a pause. Building materials continue to sell off under all of its averages, under the 200 now. Semiconductors, they're under their 10, 20, and 50. Just holding steady here, pretty flat as well. Our airlines, not much happening there, 0.9%, almost 1% retreat today. Our transportation issues are pretty flat as well. Take a look at biotech. Yeah, so that's a look at our ETF for the day. Not much happening there. This issue had moved up quite a bit, it's pulling back to its 20, in between its 20 and 10-day moving average. So that's maybe it's developing a little bit of a handle before it trends higher. We'll just have to continue to watch that. Let's take a look at some of our issues here. Chevron is an early leader in the Dow Jones. Crude prices were up earlier, but they have pulled back now. So we'll have to continue to watch that. Meta was up earlier, but as we looked at it, it had failed. And take a look at it. Tesla was up earlier, and then when Elon came about the new CEO he found for Twitter, it's pulled back. Take a look at our bonds. Bonds are pulling back quite a bit. They gap down. Guess there's gap down yesterday, and this indicator was a little slow in appearing, and now it's gapped up today. So maybe it's going to fill this gap here. Take a look at our 20-year. It's up slightly, 0.85%. And look at our 1 to 3 year bonds. It's pulling back after a good couple of day move. So that means the yields are moving up. Yields move in reverse of bond prices. Take a look at what's moving in the market this morning. Mostly in the solar area. This is IPO, recent IPO is breaking out of this consolidation. They had 171% earnings increase, and it kind of gapped up on that news. Flex, Singapore contract manufacturer, moving up on huge volume. They had 10% earnings increase, and this was a beat by 41%. Screen one, doesn't want to participate with us. Let me get back here. In the building materials area, GLS, Technoglass continues its strong movement. Looks like an ascending base here, which is a very strong pattern. Had a little bit of consolidation, tried to break out, pulled back, broke out here and pulled back again. So we'll see if the third time is a charm. Had 104% earnings increase. Also in the solar area, Solar Edge is up slightly. It's pulled back quite a bit after it opened higher. In the semiconductor area, LSCC is up slightly. Elf Beauty in Oakland, California company, which sells its brands in Target, has had an extremely strong run here. Even in the pandemic, it's kept making new highs. It has a target price of $100, so we'll see if it gets there. NVO remains strong. Big money has been flowing into this for a little over a week now. Ferrari is up 0.84%. Penumbra, another Bay Area company, is up 1.61% today. Let's take a look, see if we can find Bluebird, which was in the news on their earnings, is up 37% today. Their earnings came in at earnings surprise of 224% with 187% earnings increase. Here we have First Solar gapping up and is up 25% this morning. Beyond Meat, which has had a lot of trouble, is under all of its moving averages, and nothing really good happens here except there was a little bit of a bump today, up close to 4%. NanoX Imaging is up 2.66% and has had a huge move up here, and volume remains very powerful. Take a look at one more here, and then Arai Technologies, also in solar, is up about 16%. So a lot of money moving into solar today. Pretty good volume, even though we had a little sell-off on high volume here. Earnings came in at 213% with a 518% earnings surprise. And in the oil patch, Green Plains is up 1.4%. Where money is moving out of, Spectrum Brands is off about 2.83%. Turkey shares are down 3.28% today. Bloom Energy, another Bay Area company, continues its sell-off after its earnings, off another 4%. Harrow Health is off 16% today. I guess they didn't like the earnings, which came in at 2,100% negative earnings surprise. Vita Medical is off 24% today. I guess they didn't like their earnings. And once again, this is off 2,166% earnings surprise negative. Bank of Hawaii is off 3.5%. It's had a huge sell-off with all the regional banking issues. West Rock Coffee is off a little over 7%. Amylyx Pharmaceuticals is off slightly, 1.37. I believe they were in the news. And finally, Nutrien in their fertilizer group, which had been a strong area for a while, but continues to sell off. Their earnings came in at a negative 23.48 earnings surprise with negative 59%. And so that's our report for today. This has been Mornings with Michael. Hope everybody has a fantastic day. Go out there, keep up your activities, continue to reach for your goals, and we'll get this economy back on track. So this has been Mornings with Michael for informational and educational purposes. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend.